everybody, Brady and Tyson with Golf Ascending, and today we're going to show you how to repair your sky marks and scratches on your golf clubs with touch-up paint, specifically for your drivers, fairway woods, and hybrids. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We create weekly golf content, and we'd love to have you be a part of our community. So right now, Tyson's going to tell you about the paint we got and that we're using.
Yeah, so I actually recently acquired a 5-wood, and I kind of got it just to test. Ended up really loving it. I wasn't too concerned about cosmetics, and so I actually began searching for ways to make this 5-wood not look so embarrassing in the back. And what I came across was this company called Golf Paint. So these are little paint bottles that we got from them. But basically what Golf Paint is they are a company that matches your golf club head paint in a computerized way. So it's like a more exact match. Rather than just, filling in a scratch mark with a Sharpie or something like that, this company will, match your driver, fairway wood, or hybrid pretty close. And so this company actually started out in 2002. They actually started out of their garage. And so I'm actually really curious to try this out to see if it will make my 5-wood look good.
Yeah. What's up with your 5-wood?
Yeah, so my 5-wood. So there's a couple different things, but we're talking about the paint chips specifically. So around the face, I've got these like little paint chip skymark type things. And just right around the face of the club. And so I'm gonna try to use this paint to touch up just those kind of curved areas.
Yeah, and he had to use the masking tape because his is right along the face. For me, on the Ping, I have my hybrid here, the G400. I just have these little marks on top, and they're not against the face, so I didn't tape it. But then I also have these scratches on the back, and they're pretty big. And again, his is glossy, mine's more of a matte black, so we wanted to test it out and see how they both turn out, because they're quite different, and so it's a good test to see if these actually do the job, make it look better. I personally am going to resell mine, so hopefully I can get more money out of it just by making it look really good.
Yeah, and we thought that both of these examples would kind of help you guys out there, because we've got stuff around the face here and just touch-ups on the crown.
Yep.
So we're gonna go ahead and just try this. They gave us a couple of instructions when doing this. They wanted to make sure that we had a clean surface. So what I did, I actually took like some dusting stuff for like computer screens and phones, and I just sprayed it on there and wiped it off with a towel. My club was pretty clean before, so I thought that would do a good job of just cleaning it off. Mm-hmm. And then the next thing they said in their instructions was to make your to shake the ball, or shake the
ball,
shake the bottle close.
Yeah.
Shake the bottle for about a minute, and that's just to just make everything a good consistency. And then when you apply the paint strokes, go in the same motion. And we only want to do one layer. Is that right?
Yeah, I said one layer, one direction, and make sure to also get the paint off the brush, because I actually did test it on a piece of paper and a big drop came off, and you don't want that.
Yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and get right into it.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. We haven't done this before. All right, Tyson has his paint. He did shake it pretty well before. Just want to shake a little bit more, and he's going to wipe the paint off the bottle there, and then fix these little marks here. Just one stroke. Well, that does come off pretty easy. It's a good thing you taped that. Pretty smooth. Yeah, there's one more little one right there. Well, I gotta say, it matches really well so far. I mean, definitely look better when it's, let's see, I'm gonna change the focus here. Look better when it's dried, but that looks really good. 10 times better than a Sharpie, am I right?
Oh yeah. They do say that when it's all dried, you can kind of buff it out a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And even take some steel wool, to like really fine steel wool, to just kind of smooth it out.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
So we're just going to let this dry, and we will let you guys know after.
Check it out later. Now we'll do my Ping, see how that goes.
Okay, as you guys can see here, Brady's got 2 marks. He's got this small one right here, and then this other one, and then he's got a couple on the turbulators on top. I think that's what they're called. So we're going to start here with the back, and then he's going to tilt the club up and get the other two and touch those up.
All right, let's go with the big one.
So this one I'm actually really interested to see because Brady has that matte black. So it kind of comes off wet and it looks glossy, but we'll see when it dries if it will come off matte. It looks pretty good so far. So as you can see right there on those turbulators, you got just those two little marks.
Good.
I think we're good. So now we just gotta wait and see what it looks like when it's all dry. But yeah, here's another look at that back one. See, you touched it up there. Looks a little wet right now. And then the back one, yeah, you can't even really see it. Cool. Yeah, so we'll see what it looks like when it's dry. But so far, it looks pretty good. All right, so after trying a couple different things and waiting the 24 hours for the paint to dry, this Cobra F8 actually turned out really good. The paint matches up pretty well. You know, it would be really hard to tell if you just gave this club to some stranger and you were to say, hey, what's wrong with it? I mean, I'm looking at it, I'm about, 2 feet away, and I have to like really inspect it to see actually where the flaws were.
And get it in the right light.
Right.
Even when you're close.
Yeah, and so one thing that I did kind of with trial and error, so in the instructions it said to kind of brush straight across, and that may work for like a scratch, but these were actual like little paint chips, and so I was thinking, maybe I just need to dab it and kind of fill in that little crater that it kind of made with the paint chip. And so that's what I did. Dabbed it, kind of used a paper towel to kind of make sure that it wasn't like overflowing over the top, and it turned out great. This 3 or 5 wood, it was actually to the point where it was bugging me a little bit, and I was thinking of just replacing the head, because I really like this club a lot, and I was thinking of investing $120 for a new head, and this paint actually saved me from having to do that. I looked down at the ball with the club, and it looks great. There's nothing about it that is distracting or is not pleasing to the eye.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm overall really pleased with that.
Yeah, his looks good. I have a slightly different story. Granted, I did have a different problem and a different type of club with a different type of paint. I had the matte black. So again, it was a Ping G400. And so I had a couple of dings here on the top, and those actually turned out to look pretty okay. You can't notice it too much, and it looks better than the little gray marks that it had that's under the paint. And the back had also a little one, which isn't very noticeable, but that big one on the top of the head at the back, as you can see, it is, if you look a little closer, you can see that there's still an indent. So this chip was pretty deep. It could be because the matte paint is pretty thick, but it's pretty deep, pretty noticeable. I didn't do the dab thing like Tyson did. I did the paint stroke like it mentioned, assuming that the paint would match perfectly. But I found, and it's just possible that maybe I got the wrong paint mixed up with it, it's really close. But you can tell it has a different shine. It's not the same matte, and you can see it in a certain light where it just is a little too shiny and not as much matte. So I did reach out to golfpaint.com, and I told them about it. They said they were actually surprised. They've never heard of a complaint with the G400 matte black paint. And so it is possible maybe I got the wrong one, but their customer service was pretty good. They got back to me right away. They actually said they were, I think it was the owner, said he was out for the week, and so he would just give me a refund. So he did refund me. Again, it turned out pretty okay for the other parts. It still might be better than if I were to use a Sharpie, possibly, because the Sharpie might still have that shine, but I might try to scrape off the sides because it did go over. Like I said, I did the brush stroke, so we'll see if I can make it a little better. It's not terrible. It's better than it was, I would say, but if I were to try to resell it, obviously people would see that. So that's kind of my experience with my club.
Yeah, so I mean, I think overall, this is a great idea. If you have clubs that have scratches on it, they have chips on it, give it a try. Brady's experience is a little unfortunate, but the customer service was good, and if they were, in the warehouse, they would work something out to try to get that paint that matched. And so, yeah, overall, I know I had a great experience with it. Like I said, mine turned out, you'd have to really, really look at it. And even, Brady's, if he were to line this up over the ball, it still looks pretty good. Like, it's still passable. The only reason why it's so noticeable to both Brady and I is because, we've seen this chip, on this club for a while, so we know exactly where it is when we look at it. And so, we're already, when we see this club, we're looking right in that general location.
Yeah. But overall, especially with Tyson, pretty good experience. For me, customer service was good experience. Maybe I'll try to do some other things, and maybe it could have turned out a little bit better if I would have just dabbed it, so it wasn't such a big mark on it. But and for Tyson, it's great. He's going to keep the club, and if it was the other way around, he could sell it for probably much higher than you could have if it had those marks.
Yeah,
so.
Definitely. Yeah. So, hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. We upload golf content weekly.